In this video, I'm doing a commentary on a match between Victor Ashkenazi and John O'Hagan. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please place in the comments below what you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll work on it. Thank you to Bill Riles and Ace Point Backgammon for allowing me to use this video. This match was taken from the Markowitz Masters event. Round of 8 at the 2023 Chicago Open. These are two of the best players in the world. I love watching the strong players. We learn a lot. This is being played on a beautiful FM Gammon board customized for the Chicago Open. You can see the player cam on the upper left. They shake hands. The XG feed is on the left hand side. The scoreboard is on the right, and the pip count is in the upper and lower right hand corner. Victor opens with a 4-2, and John, playing the yellow checkers at the bottom, splits with a 5-4. Victor, with the black checkers at the top, replies with a 5-1, brings one down 13-8 and hits. John comes in from the bar with a 6-2. You're forced to come in with a 2, and he can advance his back checker from 24 to 18 or play 13 to 7. That seems reasonable. You don't want to let the back checkers escape and hit a checker with a 6. Victor's looking for to double, and he does. Turns out to be a small no double and an easy take. Victor rolls a 3-1. That's a good roll. So he's able to cover and hit. He makes the rack. That's what Bill Roberti calls the rack when you have the 4, 5, and 6 points. That's a strong formation. Now John rolls a 3-2 from the bar. He comes in with a 2 to anchor and brings one down 13-8. Victor is looking to attack 5-4. So he hits. Notice he could have made his 3-point, but hitting and sending another checker back is better. Now John dances with a 6-4. Victor has the initiative, trying to attack further, 6-4. So he'll make his bar point with the 6 and come down with the 4. Now he's trying to extend his prime, contain those back checkers. John comes in with a 4-3, comes in with a 3 and brings one down with a 4. Victor rolls a 5-3, so he can point on head or he can hit that outer checker. But pointing on head creates a 4-point board and a solid 5 prime. Can't really give that up. 5-2 for John. Not a good roll. He comes in with the 2, has to play 9-4 with the 5. Now Victor's on roll. 3-1. He hits another checker and just advances. John's desperate from the bar. He dances with a 6-4, 6-5. Now Victor rolls a 6-3. He's able to advance that back checker and bring one down, not really afraid of something like double 2 or 2-1. Oops, he should have been. John comes in with a double 2, comes in, hits, and makes his 4-point. John has a little bit of counterplay, but still Victor's a huge favorite. (3-2) for Victor. He can come in with either the 3 or the 2. The 3 comes in and he sees daylight, and the 2 he plays 11 to 9 so that John won't have a direct 6. Now John rolls a 4-2. He makes his 9-point. That blocks the back checker nicely. Victor's still a huge favorite. Now he has a 5-4. He just escapes the back checker. He's home free. John's going to need at least like a double 6 or something. He doesn't get it. He gets a 3-2. He can slot his 5-point and play 9 to 7, slotting his next point, spreading out his builders. 4-2 for Victor. What does he want to do? He can make his 9-point. All he wants to do right now is just come home safely. Not afraid to leave those fly shots with John's board. John rolls a 5-4, covers with the 4, and slots the next point with the 5. That's what you want to do when you're trying to build a prime on your side. Victor has a 6-4 to play. You don't really want to play to your bar point. That's not a good place for extra checkers because you really need to bring them in. That's the place you want to bring your checkers. You want to bring them to the high innerboard points when you're bearing in against an anchor. Michi has a good book, Endgame Technique, that discusses bearing in against a 2-point anchor as well as an ace point and 3-point and other endgames. John rolls a 3-2. He plays on his side. Now Victor rolls a 6-5. He has to play the 6 there, and the 5 he'll play 9-4. Now John's looking for a 6-1 to get back into the game. Doesn't get it. He gets a 2-1. Just cover his bar point and maybe play 6-4. Looks like all these plays are pretty much tied. Victor rolls a 5-4, brings 2 checkers in, clears his 9-point. 2-1 for John. He's going to slot his 2-point. That's the next point he wants to make, and just bring 1 more checker. Victor rolls a 6-3, good roll. He can clear his bar point and plays 7-4. John rolls a 4-3. He's able to cover with the 4 and come in with the 3. Victor rolls a 3-2. So what are the options? So you can play 2 to the 3-point. That looks like what XG says. But 5 off looks good. 6-1 looks good. He wants to clear a 6-point next. And 4s are blocked from the 6-point, so he wants to make sure he has some 4s left. And he does have 4 checkers on his 4-point, so maybe just 6-3. XG doesn't like it. I think it's okay. 3-1. He's just going to shift. And make his ace point. 6-2 for Victor. He clears his 6-point. That's what he wanted to do. Now double 4 for John. That's a good roll. He brings 1 out, 2 out, and then 1 down. That'll save some gammons. Double 5. Great roll for Victor. Bears off 4 checkers. Now he wins a lot of gammons from here. 4-2 for John. Can't get 2 crossovers. Just plays all the way. 19-13. Victor's looking for some doubles. Doesn't get it, but he gets a 4-1. He's able to bear off 4 checkers and even on his top point. That makes things safe. 6-2 for John. Probably want to get 2 crossovers with 13-5. Double 5 for Victor. Good roll. Bears off 4 checkers. He only has 4 checkers left. John's going to need a shot here. He comes out. That'll save some backgammons. And 9-6. Now Victor. 3-1. That's a good roll. He bears off 2 checkers. Doesn't leave a shot. John rolls a 3-1. Not good because he cannot escape the back checker out of Victor's board, so he can still get backgammoned. So he might as well stay anyway. And XG just says make the board. All the top plays are pretty much tied. Victor rolls a double 2 to win the backgammon. So he gets 6 quick points, up 6-0 to 11. That's a pretty commanding lead in an 11-point match. He's all the way half the way there, over half the way there. So Victor is 5 away, 11 away for John. Now this is going to be part 1 of the video. We'll do the second part in a different video. 6-1 for John, and Victor correctly replies with 2 up, 2 down. John rolls a double 4. That's always a good roll early in the game, making the 20 point and the 9 point. Victor rolls a 5-3, plays behind. At least he gets to unstack his 6 point and make another interboard point. Now double 6 for John. That's a great roll. Goes up in the race, escapes his back anchor. 6-1 for Victor. He's down 20 pips. And John has made his bar point and his 9 point. Lots of safe landing spots. This looks like a pass. John has a strong position. If you want to learn about these types of positions, I recommend the book Hold'em Game Guru by Stick Rice. I have a copy of it right here. I think it's available on Amazon or Backgammon Galaxy. It talks about what you need to take and double in these types of positions. Here, with only 2 checkers on the midpoint, he can clear easily with any doublets except for double 1. And he has nice landing spots on his 7, 8, and 9 point. So any combination of 6, 5, and 4 are nice. He can also roll 6, 2, 5, 2, or 4, 2, bring 2 checkers down, clearing his midpoint, and that only leaves a 6, 1. So a lot of safe rolls. Victor's looking at this. In these new commentary videos, now I have the matches transcribed so we can get the XG feed. So you can see that and enjoy it. And I'm able to put all sorts of other features, the player cam, scoreboard, my video, the pip counts. So Victor passes. Now he's up 6-1, 5 away, 10 away. John opens the next game with a 6-5, runs his back checkers, one of them, that's called Lover's Leap. Now, Victor replies with a 6-3. He's not supposed to run, you're supposed to split, just like that. John rolls a 6-1, that's a good roll. He's able to point on head and unstack that heavy midpoint. He is left with that 6-1 formation, the awkward stack of 5 checkers on the 6 point and strip 7 and 8. It leads to an inflexible position, but he rolls a 5-1. He's able to come down and just continue. 13-7. Victor rolls a 2-1. So he can safety, or he just plays 13-10, making another blocking point, trying to keep John's back checker held back. Now John rolls a 6-4. He's able to run. He can make his 2 point, or he can split. The only one that's not a blunder is running all the way. He's up by 8 pips before the roll. He'll be up by 18 pips. And Victor will have 20 numbers to hit. Twos and threes, but if he's missed, John's in a pretty good position, especially down in the score. He's thinking about this. That's one thing you'll notice about the very best players. They take their time when they have a difficult play. And he does run. Victor wants a 3 or 2 to hit. No, he rolls a 5-1. Brings one down and slots Now, did John have a cube? Looks like he did, but he rolls a 3-2. Comes down. Now 6-5 for Victor. Brings 2 checkers in. Now John's looking at it. He does have a small double here. He's winning 71% of the games. That's good. And about 8% gammons. That's good. He decides to take a roll. He rolls a 5-2. Plays 13-6. Now Victor has a 3-1. 8-4. Makes the rack. Now John looking at a double again. Again, it's a small double. 9 pip lead in the race, 121 to 130. He has all his checkers home. He's trying to contain Victor's last back checker. And he can do that pretty easily, but Victor, on the other hand, he does have a nice board on his side. So John rolls a 6-3. Just going to clear. Leaves him 9s. So 5-4 and 6-3 hit, but double 3 does not. No, he rolls a 5-2. He moves up. He thinks he's close enough in the race. But now John can attack. Now it's a strong double with an 11 pip lead in the race. Rolls like 4-3, 5-3, 5-4, double 3, double 2, double 6, double 5. Will point on head or hit somehow. Or even 6-5 will make his 5 point. And so we'll 5-1, 5-2, 6-1, 6-2. 6-2 will make his 4 point. But because the 9 point, the checker on John's 9 point is not directly bearing on the blot, he only has 3 numbers to hit, 3s, 4s, and 5s. So if he rolls a number with a 6, 2, or 1, he's not going to be able to hit. So the back checker does see daylight. It can escape with a 6. John's thinking about this, and if you notice, Victor's thinking about it at the same time. Anytime your opponent's considering doubling, at the same time you should be considering whether you're going to take or not. You're allowed to think. See, he does wait to take a picture until it's his turn. You shouldn't be taking pictures when it's your opponent's turn. 5-3. He could point on head, but that leaves a lot of shots. He can safely play behind too. Yeah, XG says it's wrong. So 10-7, and he can go 6-1 or continue. Always looking at clearing the 11 point. XG doesn't like that one. John O'Hagan is from the Midwest. I can't remember if it's Illinois or Indiana. And Victor lives in the New York area. Used to work with Goldman Sachs and originally from Russia. Very entertaining if you ever talk to him. He's full of jokes. He has my sense of humor. Alright, so John plays behind. Now Victor's looking for a big 6. That's not the right one. He rolls a 6-1. He makes his bar point. John rolls a 6-2. He makes his 5 point. That's good. Now Victor can hit with a 6-1 or 5-2. No, he rolls a 3-2. Can't move his back checker, so he's got to do something up front. Comes down and just plays in. John's looking to attack. 3-1. That's a great number because he can pick and pass. He hits and makes his 2 points. Victor rolls a double 4 from the bar, comes in with 1, makes his 3 point, and he's looking at possibly slotting or bringing one in 8-4. That's what he does. John's looking to continue the attack. Double 2, great roll. 6-4 twice. He points on head. And then, what is he going to do? 7-5. And does he want to bring another builder into the zone to make that 3 point or just play safe? He does make the safe play, which is right by XG. 6-4, Victor dances. Now double 5. Good roll for John. He makes his 8 point. And now he makes his 2 point from his 8 point. Or he makes his 3 point from his 8 point. Now he has 2 more 5s. He can go all the way 11-1. Or he can play 7-2 twice, which is much safer. I think I'd be afraid of Victor's board, but XG says it's right to slot the ace point. Win some more gammons. Victor comes in with a 2-1, plays 8-6, now 6-5, just bears it off, 11 off. Victor rolls a 5-3. He can make his ace point. Yeah, he has a nice big stack, or slot it and play 11-8. That's what he does. John's on roll. He has some bad numbers like 6-5, double 6, double 5, but 6-3 works. Bears off a checker. Nicely distributes his spares from his 6 to his 3. 4-3 for Victor. He's going to slot and he's going to come in. Now John has a bad 6-5, but he doesn't roll. He rolls a 5-2. He's able to bear off 2 checkers. Looking at possibly 4-2. (2-1) for Victor. He's able to make his 2 point and 6-5. Double 5 for John. Bears off 4 checkers, but he does leave a shot. Victor wants a 3 to hit. No, he doesn't get it. He gets a 5-4, and he just runs, trying to save the gammon. John rolls a 6-3. He's going to need something good to get that gammon. Victor rolls a 4-1, gives John hope. John's going to need a double. Double 2, that works. Takes off 3 checkers and 3-1. Now only 2-1 misses as long as Victor doesn't bear off, but he does. 6-4. He saves the gammon. John wins 2 points. Now he's up. Now he's down 3-6. So 8 away, 5 away. Anytime your away score is a value of the cube, that's actually very valuable. Because at 8 away, if you win a doubled gammon, you get to the valuable 4-way score. Even away scores are always better. Victor opens with a 3-1, making his 5 point. That's the best opening roll. John replies with a double 5. That's a good roll. He's able to bring 2 more checkers into the zone, make an interboard point. He makes his 3 point. 6-4 for Victor. So here he's down in the race. This is where it's natural to do a variety of things like run, split, make your 2 point. Turns out it's better to actually bring 2 down because he's down in the race. Can't fault him for doing that. 4-2. So John can hit, but he doesn't want to strip his midpoint with 2 checkers back on the 24 point. Those 2 checkers are anchored on the 24 point. It's called glued. When they're like that, you really need to get them moving, and when you strip your midpoint, that becomes problematic. So he correctly makes his 4 point. Now Victor has a 3-1 to play. He'd like to have rolled a 6 to anchor. He didn't. So he's best off just leaving that blot there because John's going to want to come out with a 6. John does roll a 6, but it's a 5-1. So he's able to hit 2 checkers. This is thematic. When you have 10 checkers in the zone and you have your opponent outboarded. Victor comes in with a 2-1. That's a good roll. Brings in both checkers, hits John, sends another checker back. John rolls a double 6. Terrible number. Now, Victor is shooting at 2 more blots with 6s and 5s. Has 10 checkers in his zone on his side. Although he has only a 2-point board versus John's 3-point board, his back checkers are split whereas John's are not. That's an advantage because he can escape easier or make an advance anchor, and he does double, even leading in the score. It is correct to double. It's a small double. You see, he's going to win a lot of gammons there. Victor's going to win 69% of the time from here, but he wins 32% gammons to only 7% for John, and he wins some backgammons. Double backgammon would win him the match. Normally for money, this would be dangerous, but at this score, it's a take. If John passes, Victor goes to 7 points, 4 away. If he takes and loses a single, he gets to 3 away, which is not much different than 4 away. Now, 4-1, it is a 5, not the one Victor was looking for. He really wanted to hit. The natural play is to bring one down and spread the checkers from 6 to 5. Looks like that's a small error. He's looking at anchoring. That's the safer play because John does have a stronger board. Or 24-20 and 6 to 5. That's what he does. John's looking to come in from the bar and hit. 3-1, he can. He can come in and hit 2 different ways. Looks like they're both about tied. Yeah, I don't like putting 3 checkers on the 24 point. 4-3, Victor dances. Now John, he had a strong double, but he decided to roll. He rolls 6-2, makes his 5 point. Looks like hitting's not the right idea here. Just wants to start escaping his back checkers. Now Victor's looking for something good. 4-2, that's good. He comes in and he's able to play safely 13-9. Now John has a 7-pip lead in the race. His back checkers are split. He does have a 4-point board with a solid 4 prime. Victor has 2 back checkers. John has rolls like 6-1 to make the bar point, or even 5s work to make his 8 point, And on the other side, he has rolls like 6s and 4s that will make his 18 point. So he has a lot going for him here. He doesn't win that much, only 57% according to XG. Does win some gammon, 16% to only 11% for Victor. But because he's down in the score, this is what happens. So John is 8 away. He owns a 2 cube. If he redoubles to 4 and Victor takes, and then he wins a gammon on a 4 cube, he wins the match with perfect efficiency. No overage, no extra points. He's 8 away. He gets exactly 8 points. That is very valuable. So when you're at these types of scores, that's what I was talking about. It's a sensitive score. If you redouble to 4 and win a gammon, you win the match. That's really good. If you change the score, it's probably not quite a double yet because Victor still has 11 checkers on his side, and he has a 4 out of 5 prime, a broken 4 prime. He can make his bar point with rolls like double 3, double 6, 6 2, double 2, and make it a complete solid 5 prime, which would be really strong. And so he does have a lot of counterplay. It's just a matter of the score. John is an expert when it has to do with score-based strategies, and he does double. Now Victor, he's taking a picture. My friend Steve Sachs says it's either a take or a mistake. Now Victor rolls a 6-4. So he goes there, and he can bring 2 to the 18. Looks like XG says it's best to play 18 to 8 and just make that point. He's looking at that. He wants to make that anchor to protect himself. Brings both of them up. (4-1) for Victor. Just plays on his side. John's looking for a 5 or a 6-1. He gets a 5, so he can cover that and just bring one down. You see the aces are duplicated to hit and cover. Victor rolls a 4-3. He's able to cover by breaking his 8 point. He's looking at making his 2 point from his 6 and 5. Looks like he did make the right play. John rolls a double 5. That's a great roll. Clears his 18 point. Now he's up big in the race. He just wants to bring it home. And he leaves him the 5-4. Victor doesn't get it, but he does get a 3-2. He can use it to make his 3 point. That's what he does. John rolls a 6-1. Great roll. Makes his bar point. Perfect. That was the number he was looking for. Or 6-4, 4-1. Now Victor rolls a 5-3. Brings 2 checkers down. 3-1 for John. Just going to try to spread out his spares, trying to bear in onto his 6, 5, and 4 points against the 2 point game. Victor rolls a 4-1, comes in 10 to 6, and then plays 9 to 8. John rolls a 4-3, and just come in nicely. There you go. That's where you want the spares. 13 to 6. Victor rolls a 6-3. He can make his 2 point. Or just bring one in. That saves some gammons. 5-1 for John. Just play 11 to 5, and that puts a spare on the 5 point. That just improves the flexibility. You don't want spares on the 7 point. You want them on the 6 and 5 when you're bearing in against the deep anchor game. 5-3 for Victor. He makes his 2-point with a 3 and bears in 1 checker. Now he killed his 6s. He cannot move a 6 if he rolls it. That will slow him down, which is what he wants. 3-1 comes in. And plays 5-4. Victor rolls a double 3, not a good roll. He's forced to break his board. If he does 6-3, he can shift with 4-1 twice. That's what he's looking at. That's what he does. 6-5, that's a bad roll. The 6 is forced. He's forced to leave a shot, and with the 5, he makes his ace point. Victor's looking for a 5 to get back in. No, 3-2. It is a 5, but he wants a 5 on 1 die, a natural 5. So he just plays inside his board. John's looking to clear up his blot. 5-2. He can. Just 7-5, and then the 5 he'll just play 6-1 so as not to leave a blot. Victor rolls a 6-2. You see the 6s are killed, so he has no 6. He can play 4-1, 6-4, 3-1. Those are fine. John's looking to clear, and he can with a double 2. He'll bring in 2 checkers, and so he'll play 1 6-4. And now it's a matter of whether he wants to play 6-4 or 5-3. So you see, he wants to clear his 6-point next. That's blocked by 4s. So he wants to make sure he has some good 4s. He does have 4 checkers right now on his 4-point where he can safely play 4s, and 1 there on his 5-point. If he rolls 5, yeah, he'll be okay. Now 4-1 for Victor. Just plays on his side, 2 to his 2-point. John rolls a 3-1. So I think he can play 6-3, 1 off. XG says to take 2 off, go for the gammon. That'll win the match perfectly. 3-2, can't move his back checkers, breaks his board further. Double 4 for John, that's really good. It just increased his gammons to 20%. That'll win the match. Victor rolls a 6-2. Okay, he's able to escape at least 1. Looks like moving the back checker up is very close. That saves some gammons. Victor knows that if John wins a gammon here, John's in good shape. Obviously, he wins the match. He doesn't want to lose a gammon. Victor, that is. Alright, and he does step up. John rolls a 2-1, bears off a checker. Victor rolls a 2-1, not good for saving gammons. 6-3 for John, bears off a checker and plays 6-3. Now he has 8 checkers remaining. Double 6, that'll save the gammon. 1, 2, 3, 4. John rolls a 3-1, bears off 2 checkers. 2-1 comes in, bears off a checker. Double 2, 1, 2, 3. Doesn't really matter. 4. 6-1 for Victor. Bears off 2 checkers. John's going to get to 7 points, so that's 4 away. Nice, valuable score to be at. And Victor will be 5 away. He concedes, and that's where we are. 7-6, 4 away, 5 away, in favor of John O'Hagan. This is the Markowitz Masters event, named after Howard Markowitz, who's run these tournaments for many, many years. Victor opens with a 4-1, splits. John rolls a 5-2. He splits and brings the checker down. 2-1. Makes his bar point nicely. He does have that awkward 6-1 formation. 6-3. He can escape off his 22 point with that 6-3. That's the butterfly anchor location. It's coined by Michi. 3-2 for Victor. He's able to make his 21-point anchor. John has a 6-2. He can just run his back checker. Victor's looking for 4s or 3-1, double 2 or double 6. He doesn't get it. He gets a 6-1, so he plays 13-7 and slots his 5-point with a 6-5. John is taking a look, but he rolls 4-1. Safely just brings one down to the 11. Victor can hit with 7s, but he cannot hit with hit and cover. He doesn't get it anyway. He rolls a 6-4. Just going to bring one down. Another blot on the board. Good racing number. Double 5. Good roll for John. 2. He's just going to want to come home. Looks like playing 11-6 is virtually tied with making the 3-point from the 13-point. He's going to be up 19 pips in the race, so he does want to consider safety. That's 2 and 2 more. Okay. Victor's looking for a 7, but he still has 2 blots on his board. He rolls a 4-1. He's able to make a 3-point board, insta board. 4-1 for John. That's nice. He makes his bar point. He's up 14 pips in the race. 6-4. Good roll for the race. He makes his 2-point. Now John's only up by 9 pips. Not able to double quite yet. He rolls a 3-2. Just brings one down, 13-8. Double 2 for Victor. So he can slot his 4-point with 8-4, and he does want to keep his midpoint for a little bit of contact, so he just plays 7-5 twice. John rolls a 4-1. He spreads his checkers, his spares, 8-7, and unstacks his 6-point, slotting the next point he wants to make, or one of the next points he wants to make. He wants to make the 5-point next, but then the 2-point. 6-2 for Victor. He brings 2 checkers down. Now John's looking at the race. He's only up by 3 pips. So it's not quite a double, especially when you're ahead in the race, in the score. He does roll a 5-4. He can bring one down and leave 6-3 and 5-4. That's what he does. Now he's up 12 pips in the race. Victor rolls small, 3-1. He's able to make his board with 5-4. Now John is up by 8 pips, 94-102. Does have a gap on his 5-point. Looks like XG says it's not quite a double yet. He just brings one down. 4-3 for Victor. Just plays all the way to his ace point from his 8 point. John rolls a 6-3. Okay, so he'll play a 6, 8-2, and he'll have to play 6-3 with the 3. Not ideal. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade with those yellow lemon colored checkers. Double 2, just plays on his side, makes his board. John's up by 7 pips, not quite enough for double 1. So, what is he going to do? Do that. Looks like XG says it's best to make the 1 point after doing that. You do really want to bring your checkers in, but I guess with the race being close enough, keeping those 4s blocked has some value for John. And he just does that. Victor has a 4-1. Look, it's close to run. It's actually correct on the plus analysis. The race is close. Victor has a full board. John needs to be careful when he's clearing so as not to leave a shot. Clears his 6 point, maintains the contact. John rolls a double 5. That's a good roll. Gets to clear his 8 point, bring one in, and 6-1. Now he's up 26 pips in the race. 6-4 for Victor. Runs all the way. Now he doubles. Victor's looking at this. In the original video for this match, there was a commentary, but not an XG feed. This one we have the XG feed so we can see what's going on. Victor passes. So now John goes up 8-6, 3 away, 5 away. Things start getting sensitive when you're closer to the end of the match. These two are playing outstanding. 2.01 and 2.19. That's amazing. 6-5, John opens the next game, runs, and Victor rolls a 6-1, making his bar point. 5-3 for John. He can make his 3 point, and it's basically tied with running. Victor rolls a 6-3. So this is the reverse split. Oftentimes people make the full split, 24-18, but here, since you own the bar point, just bring another builder there. 4-1. He's going to want to unstack his heavy midpoint. Look at that mountain. That's what Michi calls it. When you have too many points, 5 or more checkers on a point, it's called a mountain. You want to break the mountain. That's what he does. 13-8. Victor rolls a double 4. So there are a lot of things he can do, but he doesn't want to leave shots. This way he makes a 4-point board, and the 4s and 2s for the back checker to partially escape are duplicated to hit. So 4-1 for John. He gets to pick and pass. Doesn't want that dilly builder on his 3-point, but at least he gets to hit. With a 3-2, Victor's going to come in with a 2, and he can continue, he can bring one down, he can bring the other back checker up. Plus analysis says it's best to go up all the way to the 20 point. And he's putting it back in the original position, taking a picture. And he plays the forced part first. That's always a useful thing to do. If part of a play is forced, make that play first, or if you know you're going to make one part of it for sure, then look at the rest to see what's best. So he does advance to the 20 point. John rolls a 4-3. So he can run all the way. You see he can hit twice, but that's a blunder. You don't want to do that. Leave two blots on your side when you're outboarded, you're ahead in the score. Does leaves fives and 4-1 and 3-2 as well as double six. So that's 16 numbers that hit. And the race is close. He's going to come back. You have to be careful when your 8 point is stripped to do that kind of a play. The double hit play, because then you leave a lot of blots. Victor's looking for a 5, he gets it, he hits, and he can advance his back checker. That's what he does. John's looking for something good. That's not it. He rolls a double six, he dances. Now, Victor's taking a picture. XG says it's a huge pass. He must be thinking if it's too good to double. Nope, he doesn't. He decides to double. It is close to being too good to double. So John does pass. So we're going to end this video here, and we'll do the rest of the match in another video. So now it's 8-7 in favor of John. 3-away, 4-away. This is a sensitive score. So when scores get to these 3-away, 4-away, when both players have 4 points or less remaining to win the match, things get sensitive. The play gets slower. And we'll see what happens in the rest of the match in the next video. That will be part 2. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please also put in the comments what you'd like to see in the upcoming videos, and I'll work on that. Thank you again to Bill Riles and Ace Point Backgammon for allowing me to use this video. And thank you to Rory Pascar for running the Chicago Open. I'll see you in the next video.